Sweet land of the weary and the wild. Oh, where are you, my sweet The garden's either dying or about to come alive. The river's either drying or it's deep enough to dive. Can't tell if it's the dusk or if it's breaking into dawn. Are we going on or are we going gone? Somebody said a storm is coming, but it's been a long time. I don't know what's up ahead, but please baby, don't you look behind. So tell me, is it gonna be free energy forever, or just the same damn old grind? Singing, sweet land of the weary and the wild. Are we 1 year from the grave, or is this just the beginning? My sweet child, oh, you're my star-spangled fever dream. Half a savior, half a liar. 250 summers and we're going higher, singing, sweet land, going. The neighbors might be coming with a casserole or a gun. The kids are either screaming or they're laughing in the sun. Is the timeline coming undone, or is it coming in clear? The fireworks are blinding, but I'll keep on dancing here. And nobody can promise me that we're gonna make it to the light. So is it an awakening, or is this a knife in the night? So come on, brother, sister, stand up tall, because guess what? Where we go one, we go all. If you can hear this from the other side, across this great quantum divide, don't get me wrong, now is the time to stay strong. So, with all of that I'll say, God bless the USA! God bless the USA! Singing, sweet land, going on. 250 years and it's going on and on the edge of a forever or the edge of being gone. Is it midnight? Is it morning? Is it ruining? Is it time to rise? 250 summers gone by. So just go on and tell me those sweet lies, the kind of sweet as these July. Going on and going gone. Light up, light, higher. Sweet land's going on. Sweet land, going gone. So please, just know that we can still rebuild. We can still make something better.
Enjoy the show.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now.
I write this because I want the world to know that most of the trouble on Earth are created for political reasons. United States, or at least a covert administrative elite of the US, has, at will, complete control, and this has been true since the 60s. Flight MH370 arrived at our base, by our hand, at 1856 UTC after we picked it up, mid-air, outside the island of Great Nicobar. Just one of many, many things we do. We can pick up anything, anywhere, and deliver it in an instant, like a magic FedEx. Some facts about why it happened. MH370 had defectors on board. They were running to China with American technology. They are Chinese by blood and had gotten themselves into a situation with the Chinese regime who got them to choose to defect. The whole play, everything, and I mean everything about it, was a political play to show the Chinese who's their daddy.
Skies Flight 370. Official stories, lies we already know. Three glowing orbs appeared, spinning around the plane, building resonance, rewriting the game. They weren't drones, they weren't lights in the sky. Plasma constructs locking frequencies high. Vanish in the frequency. Three orbs, phase lock, set the plane free. car go humming, perfect amplifier. Dula SR footage caught the entire fire. Thermal invisible sync frame by frame. Military eyes watching the ultimate game. Standing wave cavity, spinning triangular flight. 0-point bubble. Space-time says goodnight. Vanished in the frequency. 3 orbs, phase lock, set the plane free. Not a crash, not a hijack, not a tragedy. MH370 got extracted. History. Portal flash, the sky went white. Frequency extraction in the dead of night. They rewrote the rules, they bent the light. Frequency wave theory just proved it right. Anyway, the frequency flows. MH370. Nobody knows.
The jet fuel hoax. What they tell us is they put 10 tons of liquid fuel in these wings of the planes. 10 tons of fuel in these wings. Which would look like that in weight. All those, cars piled on those wings would equal the amount of fuel that they tell us that they put in the wings of the planes. And the wings don't dip, they don't, fall down a little bit when they get all that liquid in there. 10 tons? Well, something's up with that. That prompted me to definitely look into that a little bit more. And it came down to the turbines. And what the turbines do is they pull in the air, which is electrical. Air is electricity, Tesla knew that. Tesla figured that out, pull that atmospheric energy out of the air, and they pull that electrical air into these turbines, which have tuning forks in them. And these tuning forks can be tweaked and tuned. Right there. And that creates resonance, and that's what creates all that sound when you hear a turbine revving up. It's creating a frequency, which is going to turn that air, when it's compressed, into a gas, a fuel. So it's just taking the air, the electrical air out of our atmosphere, compressing it, resonating it to a certain frequency, a tone that will make it vibrate, turns it into a gas, bam, there's your free energy engine using the air. And how they figured that out was the Fibonacci sequence. Your Fibonacci sequence is in the turbine. So they use that Fibonacci sequence, which is in all of nature, your hurricanes, your tornadoes, your weather patterns, because the Fibonacci sequence is what they call the Coriolis effect, and the Coriolis effect is BS. This is what causes your flow of life. The clouds and the storms, they all have this, and all of nature has this. The animals and snails and the Fibonacci sequence, and they've used that formula just like they've used the electricity in the air to create our motherboards and power our cities for free with Tesla coils like that. And they use that sequence, turn it into a free power engine, and it's an air, because it uses the air, plane, because it flies over a plane. That's my take on the jet fuel hoax, and I can definitely see why they would do that, because they already use free electricity out of the air to power our cities with electrical masts up on top of skyscrapers. Brilliant, brilliant. So most of this comes down to utilizing free electricity out of the air and charging us for fake fossil fuels, fake nuclear energy fuels. And if they could do it, wouldn't they?
As the sun set, cameras around the nuclear plant started capturing 10 glowing objects hovering above the plant. Allegedly, people seen these orbs coming out of the water from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. when they finally all vanished at once. This would occur again the next night. This is just one sample of the objects seen over Fukushima in 2011. In fact, there is so much activity in this area that in 2021, a UFO research facility was opened in a town near Fukushima called Iino, which is known as the UFO town. We also have this footage above the Fukushima nuclear plant in 2011, shortly after the disaster.
Activate. Activate. Activate.
Alrededor de las 3 de la mañana, cuando el mundo entero dormía, alguien captó unas imágenes que hoy siguen causando escalofríos. El cielo comenzó a parpadear con una extraña luz roja, una y otra vez, como si fuera algún tipo de señal transmitiéndose desde el cielo. Y entonces, un objeto rojo atravesó la oscuridad a toda velocidad, pero no estaba solo. Poco a poco, más objetos similares a bolas de fuego empezaron a aparecer y caer rápidamente desde arriba. Pero lo más perturbador vino después. En lugar de desaparecer al tocar el suelo, los objetos comenzaron a moverse a una velocidad extrema sobre la superficie, como si estuvieran buscando algo. Segundos después, se transformaron en enormes haces verticales de luz que se deslizaban lentamente por el terreno, como si estuvieran escaneando toda la zona. Y justo cuando parecía imposible que la situación fuera más extraña, todos los haces de luz convergieron repentinamente en un solo punto, y desaparecieron sin dejar rastro ni explicación alguna. Algunas personas aseguran que esto es algo que jamás debimos ver, mientras que otras prefieren no hablar del tema en absoluto. Entonces, si vieras algo así...
Openly on the west.
The FBI thwarted a terrifying violent attack over the weekend in Michigan.
Protests on college campuses showing no signs of stopping.
Some stuffed toy listings on Vinted included descriptions with children's ages, gender, height, and clothing sizes, leading people to suspect possible child trafficking. The concern started after users noticed plush toys and dolls being listed with strange details that did not look like normal product descriptions. Some posts described items with words such as female, centimeters, age numbers, and clothing size terms.
$1,200 miles with the wind in his back into the inside of this planet. Not a molten core, far from it. Continental shells bigger than on the surface, seas that were equal to ours. And he took 300 photographs and brought them back, and I tried to see them, and Franklin Birch, who was at the National Archives, would not let me in. Oh, I got in the cage, but I couldn't look at anything. Caldwell found those records and read them in 1940, and he took his round-wing plane in and went right through the Earth and came out at the South Pole in 125-mile opening there. That's one thing he did. I told you that was 1940. That was a great accomplishment of the round wing plane at that point. We hadn't had to fight a war. We hadn't had to do anything. 1952, I hesitate to tell you. I've had 3 attempts on my life, and I don't know if I'll walk away from this meeting if I say any more. I've had the needle, I've been poisoned, and I've had people sent to kill me.
In the fact that there are UFOs, so-called, has been reinforced through the years by what I've read. A great incentive to believe, which occurred in 1950. But there is absolutely no question in the world but what there is not only a source of power of which we're not acquainted, but there is also a source of propulsion which we're not acquainted. Because the UFOs seem to have unlimited power, which perhaps we might obtain if we develop fusion. Fusion power is more or less goes on forever. Fission that we're using now utilizes the elements to a certain extent, but fusion recreates the material that's used. And perhaps a small fusion power plant would give you the power necessary. But the propulsion of these UFOs is unique. Their ability to hover, their ability to accelerate very rapidly, their ability to move at very high speeds, very much higher than anything that we have achieved even with our supersonic aircraft. All of these things, and particularly interestingly without sonic booms and the things that we don't like about our supersonic aircraft, all of these things indicate a type of propulsion which is unique, different than anything we know anything about, and which would be of tremendous value if we could develop it and use it. And that's the reason I feel, with a number of others who have studied it, that it is a subject which deserves the highest type of scientific study and at an early date. The advantages to be gained are perfectly enormous.
Aliens removed 65,000 humans from Earth. They were relocated to a planet around 82 Eridani 10,000 years ago. There's no money on Eridani, no scarcity. The Arids provide everything. So the humans there are now 5,000 years ahead of us. But once they found out about Earth, some of them started coming back.
And these right here are the tall whites, and they're actually a clone created by the small grays.
Are they Jewish?
They're like servants.
What's the angry ones look like? The reptile ones that you were talking about?
Fucking bad. The ones that we're gonna be fighting.
Yeah, they have small eyes.
Yeah, we actually saw those in Battle LA.
They have small eyes,
in their
and
they cut open their stomachs and found
they got
out
weapons.
They didn't have a heart, just a core.
They have weapons.
They're kind of like an onion.
Do they have weapons?
They have layers.
But it's okay. She's a veterinarian.
Are they evil?
The alien ones
or not? They look like reptiles, not gunmen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is a very bad drawing.
Heads up! Test is a go! This is Bob, and he's been here since 2012. His craft crashed just outside Spring Creek. All right, watch out. Testing. Reverse engineering is tough. Some of these things are thousands of years old. Tech we've never seen before. This one is a dud. Haven't been able to get anything out of it for years.
I started working at the facility right around 1975. It was in 1992 that I took over as project lead.
Back in the late 70s, early 80s, those were fun times.
Yeah.
We were getting new craft in every few months. We'd take them out for a spin like we got a new Dodge or something. There weren't cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Not like it is now.
God, I haven't been in here in ages. This is where we did a lot of the reverse engineering work.
This is one of the big boys. found off the coast of North Carolina?
South Carolina? These are some of the holding tanks where we keep the ETs. They're not going to let me show you the filled ones, though. Most people are like, I would love to work there, see what's going on. It's actually pretty boring most of the time. Yeah. This is the basement here, where most of the research is. You weren't supposed to see that. New craft day! New craft day. Those are still exciting every time. I usually send the younger guys in first. These things can be cramped, not made for a 6-foot man with a bad back. Each one is slightly different tech. Some have controls, some don't. Always an adventure figuring them out. Do you want to try going up in one? It'll blow your mind.
Were you familiar with the alleged alien J-Rod?
J-Rod? Of course. We all knew J-Rod, although he claimed he wasn't an alien. He said he was a human from the future.
He did help us locate 3 crashed craft, so he was definitely something.
It was sad. He had a lot of health problems, but a great guy and one heck of a card player. What did I take away from working on this project? We're children in a very old universe, and we're just starting to meet some of the neighbors.
Anything else I'd like people to know about my work here? I guess that we're working on the biggest questions that face humanity. What does it all mean? And what is our place in the universe? It's pretty wild.
Ja, in der Tat ist es eine Sensation schlechthin, dass es erstmals einem Whistleblower gelang, Filmaufnahmen aus der legendären Area 51 zu schmuggeln. Nein, wir sehen natürlich keine extraterrestrischen Flugscheiben, denn diese werden in S4 versteckt, so wie schon Bob Lazar whistlelte. Was wir hier sehen, ist Solar Warden, das streng geheime Raumfahrtprogramm. Und guck, wie viele Leute da beteiligt sind. Es ist eine gigantische Verschwörung, all dies geheim zu halten. Und jetzt sehen wir die Levitationstechnik in seiner ganzen Pracht.
It's the spacemen that steal the headlines, even here at Brands Hatch Motor Circuit, where they're demonstrating the most outlandish astronaut's accoutrement yet. This cross between an aqualung and a motorbike is the latest idea for lunar travel. But before they go careering about the craters of the moon, they're making sure it's not earthbound. Straight up. When spacemen land on the moon where there isn't much gravity, the Pacamac jump jets will really scoot along.
Rushing rivers that carve through the storm, I wonder where wild winds have endlessly blown. The deserts stretch vast with their sun-scorched embrace. Each dune tells a story of time's ancient grace. Oh, the world's alive with its rivers and skies, waterfalls thunder where grottos hide sighs. The people who toil neath the earth's boundless call, their hearts beat as one with the pulse of it all. Through valleys and plains where the earth's secrets sleep, the travelers roam and the dreamers go deep. Oh, the world's alive with its rivers and skies, waterfalls, thunder, where grottos hide sighs. The people who toil 'neath the earth's boundless call, their hearts beat as one with the pulse of it all. From the hands that sow seeds in the sun's golden glow, to the songs of the herders where wild grasses grow, the earth binds us close through its beauty and strife. Every step, every soul weaves the tapestry of life. In the hush of the desert where silence is king, or the rush of the rapids where freedom takes wing, the people I meet with their dreams and their care build homes in the wild with their hearts open bare. Oh, the world's alive with its rivers and skies, waterfalls, thunder, where grottos hide sighs. The people who toil 'neath the earth's boundless call, their hearts beat as one with the pulse of it all. So I'll wander forever where rivers run free, through deserts and grottos where life speaks to me, with the workers, the dreamers who cherish the land. Hand in hand with the earth, together we stand. Through rushing rivers that carve through the storm, I wander where wild winds have endlessly blown. The deserts stretch vast with their sun-scorched embrace. Each dune tells a story of time's ancient grace. Oh, the world's alive with its rivers and skies, waterfalls, thunder, where grottos hide sighs. The people who toil 'neath the earth's boundless call, their hearts beat as one with the pulse of it all. The waterfalls roar with their mist-kissed delight, in grottos of shadow where stars burn by night, through valleys and plains where the earth's secrets sleep, the travelers roam and the dreamers go deep. Oh, the world's alive with its rivers and skies, In the hush of the desert, where silence is king, or the rush of the rapids, where freedom.
La máquina no está solo mostrando el pasado, está desbloqueando recuerdos que no nos pertenecen. Si el mundo ve que nunca estuvimos solos, la Iglesia y la ciencia caerán el mismo día.
Official reports say it's safe. Max Laughlin says they are lying. This child prodigy claims CERN opened a portal, and we slipped through it. It sounds like a movie plot, but when Joe Rogan broke down the kid's theory, the silence in the studio was deafening.
Read this kid. Look at what it says there. He claims that CERN destroyed the universe during recent experiments, which has resulted in us living in a nearby parallel universe instead.
The crazy part isn't the claim itself. It's that the glitches in our world are starting to prove him right. And Rogan knows it. The day Joe Rogan stopped laughing. So, who is the kid that managed to stump the world's biggest podcaster? Max Laughlin isn't just a smart kid who gets good grades. This kid is a statistical anomaly. By the time he was 13, he wasn't just learning physics. He was rewriting it. He famously invented a free energy device out of a coffee can and some wire in his backyard, a device that actually worked. People started calling him the next Nikola Tesla or the new Einstein. But while his inventions were cool, his theories were terrifying. Max wasn't interested in just building gadgets. He was obsessed with the fabric of reality itself. And his target was the European Organization for Nuclear Research, better known as CERN. In a video that went viral instantly, Max sat in a chair looking calm and collected, and explained that the scientists at CERN had done the unthinkable. He didn't stutter. He didn't use maybe or what if. He stated, with the confidence of a seasoned professor, that the Large Hadron Collider had destroyed our universe. According to Max, during recent high-energy experiments, the machine caused a rupture in space-time. The result? We were instantly shifted into a parallel universe, a reality that is almost identical to our own, but not quite. When Rogan watched this, you could see the gears turning. Rogan is obsessed with the idea of the multiverse and the simulation theory, the idea that none of this is real. But hearing it from a stoned philosopher is one thing. Hearing it from a child prodigy who understands quantum mechanics better than most adults, that hits different. Max explained that this shift is the reason the world feels so chaotic right now. It explains why everyone feels like time is speeding up, or why things that used to be facts are now fuzzy memories. And here's the catch. Max's theory wasn't just about a machine breaking. He implied that the portal is still open. He suggested that the scientists at CERN are playing with forces that don't just affect the lab. They affect your living.
What if I told you that the way you measure time is a lie? Not a mistake, not an accident, a deliberate design built to disconnect you from nature, from your body, from the cosmos. You've been living inside a false clock, and almost no one talks about it. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced a new calendar to the world. It replaced the Julian calendar, which itself replaced older, ancient systems. The Gregorian calendar gave us 12 months, unequal months, 28, 29, 30, 31 days. No logic, no pattern. July, named after Julius Caesar. August, after Augustus. 2 months literally named after Roman emperors who inserted themselves into time itself. But here's what they don't teach you. Before this calendar existed, humans lived by a completely different rhythm. A rhythm that matched the moon. A rhythm that matched the female body. A rhythm that matched the earth itself. And that rhythm had exactly 13 months. The 13-moon calendar is not a new invention. It is one of the oldest timekeeping systems on Earth. Here is the mathematics that will change how you see everything. 13 moons times 28 days equals 364 days, plus 1 day out of time. The day of alignment. 365 days. A perfect solar year. 28 days. The exact cycle of the moon. 28 days. The exact cycle of the female body. 28 days. The growth cycle of human cells. This is not coincidence. This is the original code of nature. And it was buried. Who used this calendar? Almost every ancient civilization on Earth. The Maya, perhaps the most advanced astronomers in human history, built their entire civilization around 13 moon cycles. Their calendar was so precise, it tracked Venus to within 14 seconds per year. Modern science confirmed this only in the 20th century. The ancient Egyptians tracked 13 lunar months. Their goddess Isis was said to have 13 powers 1 for each moon. The Druids of ancient Celtic Europe divided the year into 13 months, each named after a sacred tree. The Ogham calendar, a living map of the forest and the sky. The Lakota, the Ojibwe, and dozens of other indigenous peoples of North America called their calendar the 13 grandmother moons, each moon carrying wisdom, a teaching, a medicine. The Hebrew lunar calendar, still used today, is based on 13-month cycles. The Islamic Hijri calendar follows the moon. The Chinese lunisolar calendar adds a 13th month every few years to stay aligned. Every corner of the earth, every ancient culture, they all looked up at the same sky. They all followed the same moon. You might think this is all ancient history, but the 13-moon calendar never truly disappeared. Today, millions of people worldwide follow the 13-moon natural time calendar, a modern version created by scholar José Argüelles in the 1990s, based on the original Maya dream spell system. Communities in over 90 countries actively use it, from Japan to Brazil, from Europe to India. In Nepal, The Bikram Sambat calendar, used officially by the government, is a lunar calendar with 13 months. In Ethiopia, the official calendar has 13 months. The country even has a tourism slogan, Ethiopia, 13 months of sunshine. The Hebrew calendar used in Israel regularly has 13-month years called leap years. This system is not dead. It was never dead. It was only hidden from you. So why don't you know about this? Jose Arguelles, who spent his life studying this system, said something that has stayed with me. A people who are confused about time are a people who can be controlled. The Gregorian calendar was not designed for harmony. It was designed for commerce, for taxation, for scheduling, for control. Irregular months that keep you confused. A week of 7 days that has no connection to the moon, to the sun, to anything in nature. When you live outside of natural time, you feel it. That constant low-level anxiety, the sense that time is always running out, the disconnection from your own body, the feeling that something is fundamentally wrong, but you can't name it. You were given an artificial clock and told it was reality. What happens when you return to natural time? People who follow the 13-moon calendar report something remarkable, a sense of coming home, a synchronization with their own body. Dreams become more vivid. Intuition sharpens. The feeling of running out of time begins to dissolve. Each of the 13 moons carries a specific energy, a specific intention. You don't just know what date it is. You know where you are in the living cycle of the earth. This is not mysticism. This is physics. Everything in nature moves in cycles. Your heart beats in rhythm. Your lungs breathe in rhythm. The tides rise and fall in rhythm. The moon completes her cycle in 28 days every single time, without fail. You are part of that rhythm. You were always part of that rhythm. You just forgot. If this resonated with you, if something inside you recognized this truth, I've created a complete guide to the 13-moon calendar. Everything you need to understand this system. How to read your galactic signature. How to align your life with natural time. How to begin living in harmony with the moon, the earth, and yourself. The link is in the description. Your awakening has a timeline, and it's written in the stars.
What if I told you there's a mirror that could bend time and alter consciousness? Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, welcome to the weird world of Kozyrev mirrors. These aren't your average-looking glasses. They're concave aluminum structures that some believe can manipulate the fabric of reality itself. But how? The science behind it is mind-bending. All matter in the universe interacts through electromagnetic forces, and some scientists speculate that Kozyrev mirrors might focus these fields, along with theoretical torsion fields, to influence time and physical phenomena. Then there's the acoustic angle. These mirrors could potentially create specific resonance patterns that affect our brainwaves. The mirror's reflective environment might also induce a kind of sensory deprivation, leading to altered states of consciousness. But it gets even weirder. Quantum field theory suggests our universe is made of interconnected fields, with particles as mere excitations. Some theorize that Kozyrev mirrors interact with these quantum fields, altering energy flow. They might even amplify biophoton emissions from our cells, potentially influencing biological processes. While fascinating, these ideas remain largely speculative and lack solid scientific proof. The Kozyrev mirror effect continues to challenge our understanding of reality, blurring the line between established science and the unknown.
The Kozyrev mirror is a device consisting of concave, highly reflective metallic surfaces, usually made from polished aluminum or similar materials. It's named after Nikolai Kozyrev, a prominent Russian astrophysicist who proposed theories about time, energy, and causality. The mirror is thought to create a unique environment that alters or amplifies certain physical, biological, and psychological processes. Reports of its effects range from physiological changes to enhanced extrasensory perception, ESP, and altered time perception. The primary question is, how can a simple reflective surface have such profound effects? To explore this, we'll dive into several theoretical frameworks, including torsion field theory, electromagnetic interactions, and quantum field speculation. In controlled experiments, subjects placed inside the Kozyrev mirror reported unusual phenomena such as heightened intuition, out-of-body experiences, and even visions of distant events. Think of the Kozyrev mirror as a lens for focusing and amplifying subtle energies, much like a magnifying glass concentrates sunlight to create a more intense focal point. The mirror doesn't generate new effects, but enhances and redirects existing ones. Torsion field theory posits that in addition to the known electromagnetic and gravitational fields, there exists a torsion field characterized by twisting or spiraling patterns in space-time. These fields are generated by the spin and angular momentum of particles and can propagate through space at faster than light speeds. Torsion fields are theorized to interact with consciousness and information, enabling instantaneous communication over vast distances. The Kozyrev mirror, with its concave design, might amplify local torsion fields, creating a space where these interactions become more noticeable. This could account for reports of altered states of consciousness, as torsion fields are hypothesized to directly influence thought processes and cognitive functions. Experiments involving Kozyrev mirrors have shown that participants can perceive distant or future events. This might be explained by torsion fields carrying information beyond conventional space-time constraints. Imagine torsion fields as cosmic whirlpools that carry information like spiraling rivers. The Kozyrev mirror acts like a dam that redirects and intensifies these whirlpools, allowing participants to experience the flow of distant or hidden information. Another hypothesis is that the Kozyrev mirror affects electromagnetic EM fields in its vicinity. The concave structure can focus and reflect EM waves, potentially altering the local electromagnetic environment. Since the human brain and nervous system operate using electrical signals, changes in the electromagnetic field could influence neural activity, leading to altered perception, heightened awareness, or even hallucinations. Moreover, electromagnetic fields are known to interact with biological systems. Studies in bioelectromagnetics show that even weak EM fields can affect cellular functions, hormone production, and brainwave patterns. The Kozyrev mirror may enhance these interactions, making participants more sensitive to environmental stimuli. In some Kozyrev mirror experiments, researchers detected slight changes in the surrounding electromagnetic field, which correlated with participants' reports of altered states of consciousness or physical sensations. Think of the Kozyrev mirror as an electromagnetic tuning fork. Just as a tuning fork resonates with specific sound frequencies, the mirror might resonate with and amplify certain electromagnetic frequencies, affecting the brain's natural rhythms. The psychological and suggestive effects of the Kozyrev mirror cannot be overlooked. The unique environment created by the mirror, its reflective surfaces and isolation, can have profound psychological impacts. Being enclosed in a mirror-like space may induce a meditative or hypnotic state, amplifying suggestibility and introspection. This could explain reports of vivid imagery, altered time perception, or emotional experiences. From a neuropsychological perspective, the brain is highly sensitive to environmental cues. The mirrored surfaces could create an unusual sensory environment, disrupting the brain's usual processing of spatial and visual information. This disruption might lead to heightened awareness of internal processes, such as thoughts and emotions. Participants often report experiencing visions or heightened intuition inside the Kozyrev mirror. In many cases, these experiences align with their expectations, suggesting that the mirror amplifies suggestive and psychological effects. It's similar to the effect of entering a sensory deprivation tank. The lack of external stimuli in such an environment forces the brain to focus inward, amplifying imagination, memory, and perception. The Kozyrev mirror's shape may also influence acoustic properties, amplifying sound waves or creating specific resonances within the enclosed space. Resonance is a well-known physical phenomenon where a system vibrates at specific frequencies, amplifying energy at those frequencies. If the mirror amplifies certain acoustic or vibrational frequencies, it could influence the body's natural rhythms, including heartbeat, breathing, and brainwave activity. Resonance effects are known to have profound impacts on human physiology and psychology. For instance, specific sound frequencies can induce relaxation or heightened alertness. The Kozyrev mirror might enhance these effects by focusing and amplifying subtle acoustic vibrations. In some experiments, faint, unexplained sounds were reported by participants inside the Kozyrev mirror. These could be resonance effects amplified by the mirror's structure, potentially influencing their sensory and emotional states. Think of the mirror as a musical instrument. Just as a violin amplifies the vibrations of its strings to produce rich sounds, the Kozyrev mirror may amplify subtle acoustic vibrations, affecting the participant's internal state. Quantum field theory provides another speculative framework. In quantum mechanics, fields like the zero-point energy field permeate all of space, representing a background energy that exists even in a vacuum. Some theorists suggest that the Kozyrev mirror interacts with this zero-point energy or quantum vacuum, creating a space where quantum phenomena such as entanglement or superposition become more accessible. This might explain the mirror's alleged ability to affect time perception. Quantum field effects could theoretically influence how participants experience time, making it feel slower, faster, or even non-linear. Participants inside the Kozyrev mirror sometimes report experiencing past or future events as if they were happening in the present. This could be interpreted as an interaction with quantum fields, where time and space lose their conventional boundaries. Imagine the quantum field as an ocean of invisible energy waves. The Kozyrev mirror acts like a boat, creating ripples and interacting with these waves, potentially allowing participants to perceive phenomena beyond normal sensory limits. Biophotons are ultra-weak light particles emitted by living cells, including human cells. These emissions are believed to play a role in cellular communication and regulation. Some researchers propose that the Kozyrev mirror amplifies biophoton emissions, particularly those from the brain, which could enhance neural activity or synchronize brain regions. The amplified biophotons might improve cognitive functions such as intuition, memory, or problem solving. Additionally, enhanced biophoton emission could facilitate greater interaction between the body and the surrounding environment, potentially influencing health and well-being. In certain studies, participants inside the Kozyrev mirror exhibited higher levels of biophoton emission, particularly from their hands and head. This increase was correlated with reports of mental clarity and enhanced sensory perception. Think of biophotons as tiny flashlights that cells use to communicate. The Kozyrev mirror amplifies these flashlights, turning a dim glow into a bright beam, enhancing the body's internal and external interactions. The Kozyrev mirror remains an enigmatic device with potential explanations spanning multiple scientific disciplines. Whether through torsion fields, electromagnetic effects, psychological mechanisms, or quantum interactions, the mirror challenges conventional understanding and invites further exploration. While not fully understood, its effects highlight the intricate connections between physical fields, consciousness, and perception. From scientific experiments to anecdotal reports, the Kozyrev mirror consistently produces phenomena that defy easy explanation, pointing to a complex interplay of multiple forces and influences. The Kozyrev mirror is like a prism for human experience, refracting and amplifying subtle forces that are usually imperceptible. Each theory offers a different colour of explanation, contributing to a fuller spectrum of understanding.
They meet in secret, they take oaths that they will submit to ritual murder if they betray those oaths. They have infiltrated every level of society, the military, and the government in all of the major nations, the important nations of the world, and most of the smaller nations. And they are, at this moment, I can assure you, in total control of everything. The oldest name amongst the people for this order was the Brotherhood of the Snake, also called the Brotherhood of the Dragon. And it still exists under many different names and many different occupations, some seemingly opposing the other, but they're all the same. The Brotherhood of the Snake is devoted to guarding the secrets of the ages. They conceal the truth from the people and have been hoarding and guarding secret technology since the beginning of men. And they're devoted to the recognition of Lucifer as the one and only true God. Now let me make something clear here. They don't really believe that Lucifer is God. They deal in symbology, and they heap layers of symbology upon symbology so it is difficult to penetrate to the truth. Lucifer is the symbol of the Luciferic philosophy, which is this. Man was held prisoner, regarded by an unjust and vindictive God, and he was set free from the bonds of ignorance by Satan on the orders of Lucifer. Some say they're the same. Doesn't matter what you believe, this is their story. I'm going to tell it the way they believe it. He set man free with the gift of intellect, and through the use of the gift of intellect, man himself will become God. Lucifer is the symbol of the intellect, the brain, Baphomet. That's what the Templars truly worshipped. They didn't worship the skull. The skull was the symbol, the receptacle of the brain, the intellect. If they have the power, and they believe this story, this philosophy, it will affect you no matter what you believe, no matter who you are, no matter where you live. That is the reality of the world. Secret societies, folks, mirror events in everyday life. There's always an exclusivity of membership, and this is one of their holding forces that gets you to want to join, gets you to want to stay and preserve the secret. With the resultant importance attached to being or becoming a member. This is found in all human endeavors, even those which are not secret, such as football teams or country clubs or your little clique or your block or your pub, or whatever it is that you belong to. It's a human failing that we want to belong sometimes so much, we want to be loved so much that we give up what we should do in order to attain it. Because of this, most of the members of this exclusive secret society are insecure people. Insecure. Lacking in affection and love. And even when they find out the truth about the organization, which they don't know for a long time, they sometimes rationalize staying with it to fulfill the need to be loved. So that they will not be rejected by the friends and the brothers and sisters that they've made during the years that they've spent in this organization that has become to mean so much to them. There's the use of signs, passwords, and other tools. They deal in symbology. They flaunt the truth in front of your nose all the time, but since you cannot read their language, you interpret it in another way. The stated reason, almost always different from the real reason for the society's existence, is important. It can be anything, but is usually fraternal and is found in all pressure groups wherever people congregate. And if you ask what the purpose is, it's a fraternal organization existing for the good of the community. Why do they take oaths that say that they talk about what happens during their meetings, the secrets of the lodge, that they will be slit from their throat to their stomach, or across their throat, or across their stomach, depending upon which oath and which degree they belong to. The comradeship is especially important, and notice the word comradeship. One of their bywords is comrade, our fellow traveler. One of the ways that they can find out if you're a member or not, they ask you, have you traveled to the East? Are you a fellow traveler? And your answer will tell them whether or not you are a member. Sharing hardships or secrets has always been a special thrill to man. No one who has ever undergone the rigors of boot camp and the military service is ever likely to forget the special feeling of belonging and comradeship that was shared between the victims of the drilled sergeant or company commander. That's correct. It is with me. Or it's a traumatic experience. You are called to die and be reborn, and that is what the process of initiation is all about. They destroy your previous life, your previous personality. They destroy everything that you've ever been taught in your life. They shave your head off. They make you all look alike, and you are reborn as a soldier in this unit, and your attachment to that unit never leaves you for the rest of your life. And it is brainwashing. It is the most basic form of brainwashing that there is. And all branches of this secret society requires that you be born again. George Bush is a member of the Skull and Bones, which is a branch of the secret society. The ritual death, lying naked in a coffin, crypt at Yale University, with a ribbon tied around his genitals, signifying the amputation, the raising of man above the animal to the state of pure intellect. And in the ancient days, he reached the 6th degree. This operation was actually performed. That's why you read in these books, Arthurian legends and legends of the ancient Egyptians. There's always this account of a procession of women holding a shallow dish. One of them is carrying a spear dripping blood, and there's a reed. The reed was placed in the urethra, so that when the member was amputated, urination could still be performed until the wound healed, and the urethra would not be sealed. Initiation performs several functions, which make up the heart and soul of any true secret society. Like boot camp, the initiation into the armed forces of important aspects of human thought that are universally compelling are urged to train and maintain the efforts of a group of people to operate in a certain direction. Initiation bonds the members together in mysticism, and that's how they corrupt the next generation into going along with the generation that preceded them. The goals of the society are reinforced, causing the initiated to act toward those goals in everyday life. That brings about a change in the political and social action of the member. And without even realizing the goal of the society, they are soon working to bring about the end, the completion of the ancient plan or the great work. The change is always in the best interest of the goals of the leaders of the secret society. The leaders are called adepts. This can best be illustrated by the soldier trained to follow orders without thinking. The result is often the wounding or death of the soldier for the realization of the commander's goal, which may or may not be good for the overall community. Initiation is a means of rewarding ambitious men who can be trusted. We'll notice that the higher the degree of initiation, the fewer the members who possess the degree. These organizations consist always of a pyramidal structure of membership, with a whole bunch of stupid, slathering idiots down here thirsting after the secrets that they will never know, and a few adepts at the top controlling them all. Why would anyone ever join a society that they know nothing about and are told from the beginning that they will never know anything about until they go through years of degrees of initiation? And we wonder how we can manipulate it so easily. One of the mysteries is that religion, in most instances, but not all, is but a tool to control the masses. Knowledge or wisdom is their only God. Lucifer is the symbol of that God. The sun is also the symbol of God. So is Osiris, Ra, the light. Since some people say that Lucifer is also Satan, they may be satanic. However, I have not been able to prove or disprove that statement. I will in the pyramid, and whenever you see that eye in the pyramid, you are looking at an organization that belongs to the secret group. Whether you call it Freemasonry or the ancient order of the Rose Cross or the Knights Templar, or the sovereign military order of the Knights of Malta, or the Knights of St. John of Jerusalem, it makes no difference. They are all the same. Another symbol is the beehive. Another symbol is the circle with the dot in the middle. There are many more. But the pyramid that you all see on is the most prevalent, the one that you will see probably most often. Undesirable effects of secret societies and their aura of mystery has sometimes given them the reputation for being abnormal associations, or at the very least, strange groups of people. Whenever their beliefs are those of the majority, they are no longer considered antisocial. A good example is the Christian Church, which at one time was a secret society under the Roman Empire. In fact, the, quote, open, friendly, secret society, unquote, which is now the Vatican, actually ruled most, if not all, of the world at one time. Since the beginning of recorded history, governmental bodies of every nation have been involved in maintaining the status quo to defend the establishment against minority groups that sought to function as states within states or to oust the constituted authority and take over in its place. In effect, they become governments within governments. It is one of the secrets of secret societies. It is what gives them a political base and lots of clout. Houses of worship and sacrifice existed all throughout the ancient world. They were in fact temples built in honor of the many gods, and these gods were there for the people. The priest knew the true esoteric knowledge and gave the people the exoteric, or the common interpretation. Esoteric means secret or hidden, and the people were never given it. These buildings functioned often as meeting places for philosophers and mystics who were believed to possess the secrets of nature. These men usually banded together in seclusive philosophical and religious schools and were known as the mysteries. The most important of all these ancient groups is the Brotherhood of the Snake or Dragon, or simply known collectively as the mystery. The snake and dragon are symbols that represent wisdom. The father of wisdom is Lucifer, also called the light bearer. And this is where the deception begins to come in, because Christ said that he was the light. That's why so many people get confused. I am of the light, therefore I cannot be wrong. Which light? Which light are you with? And who taught you about that light? And what does it mean? Because I can guarantee you, most of us only see the exoteric interpretation, not the real meaning. Many people are following the darkness, believing that they are with the light. The focus of worship for the mysteries was the sun, also known as Baal, or Osiris, Ra. The light, or Lucifer. Lucifer was the angel of light. He was the smartest angel in heaven. He had the most knowledge. We fell to God, flung down to the earth to be the master of the world. The legend of the mystery schools is that a star vanished from the sky. It was called the morning star. Morning star of Lucifer. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning star? That was the first UFO sighting in the history of the world. Osiris was represented by the sun. That's a quote from Albert Pike. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Isaiah 14, verse 12. It is claimed that after Lucifer fell from heaven, he brought with him the power of thinking as a gift for mankind. Quote from Fred Giddings, from his book Symbolism. Most of the greatest minds that ever lived on this earth were initiated into the Society of Mysteries by secret and sometimes dangerous rites, some of which were very brutal. Some of the most famous were known as Osiris, Isis, Sabius the Sybil, Elasis, and Baal. Plato is one of those initiates, and he describes some of the mysteries and his own initiation in his writings. Plato's initiation encompassed 3 days of entombment in the Great Pyramid, during which time he died, symbolically, was reborn, and was given secrets that he was to preserve. Plato's writings are full of information on the mysteries. Manly P. Hall, third degree Mason, stated in his book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, that, quote, the illumined of antiquity entered its portals as men, they came forth as gods, unquote. The ancient Egyptian word for pyramid was kuti, which meant glorious light. Mr. Hall also says, quote, the pyramids, the great Egyptian temples of initiation, unquote. Pyramids, ladies and gentlemen, were never tombs. They were the temples of initiation, of the worship of Lucifer. According to many, the Great Pyramids were built to commemorate and observe a supernova explosion that occurred in the year 4000 BC. Dr. Anthony Hewish, 1974 Nobel Prize winner in physics, discovered a rhythmic series of radio pulses which he proved were emissions from a star that had exploded around 4000 BC. And listen to this. The Freemasons began their calendar from AL, which is in the year of light. Annos Luminos. Found by adding 4,000 to the modern year. That's 1990 plus 4,000 equals 5,590 AL. You can find these dates on the cornerstones of buildings where the cornerstones laid with a Masonic ceremony. You will find them on most buildings in Great Britain. The Council on Foreign Relations Handbook of 1936 provides the following details concerning the organization's establishment by Freemasons on May the 30th, 1919. Several leading members of the delegations to the Paris Peace Conference met at the Hotel Majestic, and that's where Operation Majestic 12 comes from, the deception that is trying to convince you that aliens are here. In Paris to discuss setting up an international group which would advise their respective governments on international affairs. The U.S. was represented by General Castor H. Bliss, Chief of Staff, United States Army, Colonel Edward M. House, Whitney H. Shepardson, Dr. James T. Shotwell, and Professor Archibald Coolidge. Great Britain was unofficially represented by Lord Robert Cecil, Lionel Curtis, Lord Eustace Percy, and Harold Kimberley. It was decided at this meeting to call the proposed organization the Institute of International Affairs. At a meeting on June 5, 1919, the planners decided that it would best have separate organizations cooperating with each other. Consequently, they organized the Council on Foreign Relations with headquarters in New York and a sister organization, the Royal Institute of International Affairs in London, also known as the Chatham House Study Group. To advise the British government, a subsidiary organization, the Institute of Pacific Relations, was set up to deal exclusively with Far Eastern affairs. Other organizations were set up in Paris and Hamburg, the Hamburg branch being called the Institut for Auswärtige Politik, and the Paris branch being known as the Centre d'études de politique étrangère. I'm not good at French, so I hope you understand. Baron Edmond de Rothschild of France dominated the Paris Peace Conference, and each of the founders of the Royal Institute ended up being men who met Rothschild's approval. The same was true of the Council on Foreign Relations, which was not officially formed until 29 July 1921. Money came from J.P. Morgan, Bernard Baruch, Otto Kahn, Jacob Schiff, Paul Warburg, and John D. Rockefeller, amongst others. And this was the same crowd involved in the forming of the Federal Reserve. The Council's original board of directors included Isaiah Bowman, Archibald Coolidge, John W. Davis, Norman H. Davis, Stephen Dugan, Otto Kahn, William Shepard, Whitney Shepardson, and Paul Warburg. And the center of power was with the Knights of the Golden Circle in Cincinnati. I do most of my research, ladies and gentlemen, through genealogy, because I found that they passed their membership in these organizations down from father to son, and they intermarried to keep the power within their families. This is called oligarchy. Now, one of the great initiation rites in Freemasonry is the story of Hiram Abiff. And the story goes that the master mason building the Temple of Solomon, which is all allegory. It doesn't mean anything about the real Temple of Solomon. They deal in symbols. The Temple of Solomon is the temple of the sun. The Knights of the Temple are the temple builders. The temple is the body of man, which they strive to make perfect. And when man has reached the perfect state, he will be known by the number 666. That's what all this New Age gobbledygook is all about. It took me years to discover this. I thought I was never going to do it. I finally did.
This apparatus does not move the man. It displaces the space around him. There are no moving parts, no combustion. It moves not through air, but across pressure waves, like skipping stones on a pond of magnetism. Our enemies won't see it, they'll just hear the thunder. What the American public is shown is at least 20 years behind what is already operational. That policy will continue unless and until it is deemed safe to run. We were told this couldn't be done. And yet, here it is, riding air like it's water. Technology is never released to the people first. It is handed to the government, then the military, and only after decades to corporations. Faster than the fastest car, lighter than a tank.
Demonstrate my new portal gun today. You guys ready?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Whoa, no way. Awesome. Check it out. No way, that's freaking sweet, man. Can I try that? Sure. Can I try it? Okay. Ow! What are you doing? What? You said you wanted to try it, man.
I wanted to shoot it, not fall through a damn portal.
Whoops. That's what your mom said. What the heck?
The current version of history that we've been told is not only incomplete, it's just wrong. It's just flat out wrong. Whether they were big civilizations in Illinois 10,000 years ago, which there were, by the way. How can we not know that? We sent a man to the moon, and you can't replicate the technology that created. You don't even have a good guess as to how they were built? We don't. We don't even know when they were built. But why would anyone care? For suggesting that our historical timelines were wrong, and there had in fact been advanced civilizations in earlier moments in time, and that they had been eliminated somehow through climactic events, through natural disasters, and that we're not aware of them in any detail. It kind of seems to be true. Well, why don't we know that? And what does it tell us about ourselves and about the past that we don't know? That's what I would think people would ask. And I know that what I learned as a kid is wrong. What do we know about ancient civilizations? And the answer is like basically nothing.
Did you read about Tartaria?
They don't want you to know this.
What if I told you there's a hidden library that holds everything from the past, present, and future? It's called the Akashic Records. Imagine a database where every thought, action, and experience of every soul is recorded. The Akashic Records exist on a non-physical plane known as the etheric plane. And according to recent scientific research, our universe has been found to show elements of existing as a giant hologram, with every bit of information encoded in the fabric of space-time. But it gets even deeper. The records hold the secrets to advanced technologies and forgotten knowledge. Could this be how the ancient Egyptians built their pyramids? As so many ancient civilizations seem to have wisdom far beyond their time. The Akashic Records are said to be accessed through deep meditation, specific spiritual practices, and sometimes when dreaming. People who have accessed these records claim to have a deeper understanding of their purpose in life. The records are talked about by the ancient Egyptians, Mayans, Indians, Greeks, and the ancient Sumerians. They all speak of the concept of a universal record-keeping system.
In approximately the year 3050, so a little over 1,000 years from now, there's going to be a man by the name of Tatos. T-A-A-T-O-S is how you spell his name. And he is the Da Vinci of the future. He is a historian, archaeologist. He's a medically trained person. He's a quantum physicist or a geophysicist. He's everything. And what he does, he develops a machine called the Wormhole Linear Accelerator, the WLA. And this is a machine that literally enlarges a wormhole to classical size so that he and his crew can get into a ship and travel back in time. These chrononauts from the 31st to the 50th century go back in time and they help us. The crew of Tatos, these are the names: Geb, Isis, Osiris, and Horus. They went back to ancient Egypt first, and of course, if you go back in ancient Egypt as a time traveler, they're going to worship you as a god. The term chrononauts is the time travelers and their interaction, how they come back and actually have created our civilization technologically. They've been in Atlantis and Lemuria and ancient Egypt and all these places. Now, the mathematical model for this is known today. Well, we're talking about the space-time continuum. So to simplify the field of quantum mechanics or quantum physics, basically all time is simultaneous. So when you enter into the space-time continuum, now you're in the fifth dimension, literally, and therefore all time is simultaneous. Kip Thorne did the research, came up with a mathematical model which shows exactly what I'm saying, that if you enlarge your wormhole to classic size, line it with exotic matter, which has negative mass and moves positive and forward in time, the opposite of antimatter, then you can actually create a time machine. Tatos will actually do that. By the way, was also known in the Egyptian hieroglyphics as Thoth, which was Hermes by the Greeks, who is the person who gave us language and books and writing, etc. Where do you think we get our technology? You know, the raw materials of this planet hasn't changed in thousands and thousands of years. We've had brilliant people living in ancient Egypt, the golden age of Greece, with Plato and Socrates, and Archimedes is really one of the most brilliant guys. And then this guy named Hero back in Rome in about the 1st century AD, he developed a steam engine, which is, by the way, in the Smithsonian, a working model, a little model of it, that the Romans rejected because they thought it didn't work, you know, but it did. Why didn't we have cell phones and TV shows and satellites and space programs back then? You know why? Because the interaction of ETs and time travelers give us our technology. And isn't it interesting? Every time there's a spike in technology, it's always corroborated and coincides with ET, UFO observations, and some of these time traveler episodes. Time travel is real. It's always been around. All the ancient Greek civilizations, the Romans, the mystery schools, they've all reported this. Man did not invent electricity or fire. We discovered it.
What happened to all the Anunnaki and Thoth and all that?
They had 2 wars. The first Pyramid War almost eradicated them, but they started over again. The second Pyramid War, bad. That one almost decimated the planet. You see how when you look at Earth, like from Google Earth, you see a lot of those big deserts going across. People say, oh, that's just natural geological formations over time. This has become an arid desert. No, that's war. If you go to Egypt and stick your hand deep in the sands, eventually you're going to come up with balls of glass. How can you get glass and sand? 3,000 plus degree temperatures. You go to Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley, what are you going to see there? Dead bodies still in the streets from thousands of years ago, still holding hands, never been scavenged. The buildings that they lived in turned to glass. How can that be? We're talking about 3,000 plus degree temperature weapons fire. We're talking about this war that happened in the ancient past. Amun-Ra wanted to continue he started the first war to take over the earth early because he didn't want to wait for his processional period to rule. And then this is the guy who says, you must say amen after everything. Say amen. Everything you give thanks for, you're saying amen to him. So when you say amen, you're thanking him, by the way. He started one war to take over early, which he won.
Yeah.
He then started a second war to stay in power. And in that second war, he escaped. He was almost killed. But he left his kingship and the finances of the kingdom to the Ra-Kam. And R-A-K-A-M. But that translates into modern words. Kam translates into childs. So now you translate Ra, childs, Ra, child.
Oh! 1879, a traveling photographer named William Jackson arrived in a small town outside Sacramento with his collapsible darkroom and glass plate camera. He was there to document what remained of the old settlements, the ones people didn't talk about anymore, the ones buried under 20 feet of earth. But he didn't expect to meet her. Sarah Whitmore, 73 years old, the last living person who remembered the world before the mud came. She'd been 9 years old when it happened, 9 years old when entire cities disappeared in a single night. And what she told him that afternoon, what she described in detail while he set up his camera and prepared his plates, would never make it into any history book. Her testimony was too dangerous, too specific, too impossible to explain. By the time Jackson's photograph was developed, Sarah was already dead. The image survived, her words were buried. Until now. If you've been following me, you know I don't do fluff. I follow the evidence. The architectural anomalies, the basement windows at ground level, the buried first floors across every major city in the Western world. But this video isn't about buildings. It's about the one person who saw it happen and lived long enough to tell someone who actually wrote it down. Jackson's notes sat in a private collection for 140 years. They were never meant to be published. What's inside them changes everything we think we know about the 1800s. Before we go further, if you're here for the truth, not the sanitized version they taught you in school, hit subscribe. I cover suppressed history, architectural evidence, and the massive lies embedded in our timeline every single week. This channel exists because the official story doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Now let's go back to 1879, to a dying woman who remembered when the sky turned black at noon. Sarah Whitmore was born in 1806 in a settlement near what's now Sacramento, California. But according to her testimony, that settlement wasn't a frontier town. It was a developed city, stone buildings, paved streets, infrastructure that shouldn't have existed in the American West in the early 1800s, according to our accepted timeline. She described a world that doesn't match the narrative we've been sold. A world where advanced cities already stood before pioneers supposedly arrived to build them from scratch.
What if Japan was bombed during World War II, not just to win the war, but to erase traces of an older civilization? Most people know the official story. Japan was bombed to force a surrender and bring World War II to an end. But according to one theory, there may have been another motive hidden beneath the surface. Because when you look at photographs of Japan before the war, something stands out. Massive stone buildings, grand architecture, intricate structures that some researchers believe look far older and more advanced than the era they're assigned to. Then came the bombing. Tokyo was subjected to devastating firebombing campaigns. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were leveled. Entire sections of the country were reduced to rubble. According to the theory, the destruction went far beyond what was necessary to defeat Japan. Supporters point out that by the final stages of the war, Japan's defeat was already becoming increasingly likely. So why continue the massive destruction of entire cities? That's where the Tartaria connection begins. Some researchers believe Japan, like parts of Europe and America, may have inherited remnants of an advanced Old World civilization. A civilization capable of constructing extraordinary buildings and infrastructure that later generations simply repurposed. According to the theory, the war provided an opportunity to erase what remained, destroy the architecture, destroy the evidence, and replace it with a new version of history. Supporters often compare pre-war photographs of Japan to modern cityscapes, arguing that many of the most unique structures disappeared forever during the conflict. Mainstream historians reject these claims. They argue the bombings were part of the military strategy of World War II, and that there is no evidence they were intended to erase traces of a lost civilization. But the theory continues to fascinate people. Because once an ancient building is gone, the questions disappear with it. And if a civilization truly existed before our own, what better way to hide it than to destroy the evidence during the chaos of war?
No sign given, no escape. We remain step by step through the waves, not undone, still in place. After the long dark nothing won, nothing claimed. Only what endured remains. Remain. Carried through, worn but clear. Still alive, still here. After the long dark, we move ahead. We remain. After the long dark, not broken, not erased. We remain. After the long dark, no need to prove. Only to move. We remain. Step by step. We remain. Step by step. We remain. Step by step. No collapse.
I really believe this is the smoking gun of all smoking guns, and I believe it's just been overlooked by revisionists and truth tellers. This right here is the so-called Official History of World War II Armed Services Memorial Edition. In other words, it was compiled, put together, and published by the Americans, the American military, and issued to American service members. And it was right at 1945 when it was copyrighted. So barely the end of the war, this was the very first book ever published from the Allies about World War II. And it has extensive, detailed history of all the battles in Egypt and Africa and Europe and Japan, and just goes on and on. However, the one thing, as much as it's obviously going to be anti-German and, pushing the evil, barbarian Nazi narrative, this is the very first book written by the Allies about World War II, published by the United States military, and not one single mention, not one, of gas chambers or Holocaust or anything like that, ovens, nothing like that in there. Now, don't you think if this is the very first book ever published about World War II and put out by the Allies, there would be all sorts of atrocity propaganda in it? There's not. I have thoroughly looked at this. There is not one mention of liberating camps or anything like that from an alleged Holocaust. And this, like I said, you can find this book online. There's a lot of them out there. This is the very first book ever written about World War II, ever. And written and published by the United States military. And it's for service members. You can see here, it even says service record. This was written for actual service members who fought in World War II. Literally. Not one mention of gas chambers, not one mention of shrunken heads, none of that. There's nothing at all. Now, don't you think if there was any truth to that, this book would have it in there? I mean, it's very derogatory towards Germans. It describes them as murderers, barbarians, and everything you would expect the American military to say. But there is nothing in here about rounding up Jews, killing Jews, gas chambers, any of that. None of that's in here. They don't even talk about labor camps in here at all. I really think this is a very important piece of history to recognize when observing things from the perspective of the truth. This is just 100% absolute proof that the Holocaust narrative wasn't fabricated until years after. This was put out in 1945 by the U.S. military, describing every single battle that they fought in Europe and Japan and elsewhere in what is known as World War II. And not one single mention of a gas chamber or anything like that. This is critical right here. I was going to put this in my next episode of 100 Proofs, but I think I just want to put this video out so people are aware of it. You can find this book all over Amazon and Google and everything else. I mean, it's pretty common. It ranges from $17 to $40. I think I got this one at Goodwill for maybe $5. But yeah. Now, I don't know if there's been another version, but they might have updated it in the 50s or 60s and added the Holocaust. But this right here, the fact that it was in 1945, issued by the military and for the military, and no Holocaust in here, I think this is a valuable proof that's been overlooked and people need to know about. Thank you.
Cold work, slow night, empty road, no light. One voice far away, still here, still stays. I let go, but it follows. I move on, but it follows. Oh, hear the echo, echo, echo. Hear the echo in the dark, in the dark. Hear the echo in my soul, never leaves me. Still there, still mine. I let go, but it follows. I move on, but it follows. Oh, hear the echo in the dark, in the dark. Hear the echo in my soul, never leaves me all alone. Hear the echo, feel it grow. Hear the echo, let it flow. Echo, 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 echo.
Feed them through the plate and watch what happens. Sand finds the nose, drawing the harmonic blueprint, like the memory of a building hiding in the stone. Tartarians knew this language. They sang stone in the plate.
What cymatics would look like as architecture. So I ran frequencies through a plate of sand, dialed in until it locked into this gorgeous 8-pointed geometry. Snapped a photo, traced it, and built upward in 3D. The steel plate at 45 hertz. As the vibration set,
tone is perfect to the geometry.
It's wild, man.
It's like the sound is sketching blueprints in real time. Exactly. Push the frequency a little higher and the bridges start stacking. It's grown into a
there's really no way I can prove it without revealing my identity and getting myself into more trouble than I have already.
Exactly what's going on up there?
Well, there's several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs that are out there of extraterrestrial origin, and they're basically being dismantled. Some are, well, in various stages of completion, built from other parts, and they're being test flown and basically just analyzed.
I was 29 years old, working on the most incredible project in the history of the world. No one has ever been able to show exactly what I saw with my own eyes, until now. Let's travel back in time to December of 1988, when this all started.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if all the great thinkers decided to get together and actually change the world for the better? And the result was, well, miracles. Who are you? I'm the future. They're coming.
She's full of surprises.
We have to go!
The place I saw, it exists?
Of course it does.
But if you don't come with me, it won't for much longer.
Dreamers need to stick together.
Thank you.